Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Cryptid Studies Institute Radio. I'm Johnny Henderson, your host, and with me, as usual, is my son, Elijah. We just got back this week. We had been out of town last weekend filming several episodes of the Nightmare Nugget. I think we filmed, stuff for 8 of them. Was that right, Elijah?
Yeah, I think we filmed about 8, and we should have about 9 that we can do because
we still have
we recently. Yes, we were recently up in St. Louis, Missouri, and got to visit the actual Exorcist house that the movie was based off of.
Yeah, we just got to find time to put them together and get them online because, man, we have been working 50-plus hours a week.
Yeah, so it makes it pretty difficult to find the time to do it.
But we've been spending our time trying to get things ready. We've been trying to get a new website together, having a little difficulty with that. If someone knows how to put one of those together really well, give us a holler. We'd love and appreciate your help. We've been trying to get merchandise ordered, banners ready, because we intend to attend a couple of upcoming crypto cons.
Absolutely. So it should be a pretty good time. We got a whole lot of things planned in the future.
Yes, we do. Is Christian on yet?
We're still waiting a minute or two for him to show up. So in the meantime, is there anything you'd like to mention while he's finding his way here?
Well, I would actually. I was thinking about a little bit of interesting news we had. We were in a state park recently and had a conversation with a park official, park ranger, if you will, and he was telling us that he had Sasquatch in the park, but he wasn't allowed to talk about it. His boss told him to keep quiet about it. That and some other occurrences in the park.
Yes, he talked about a whole lot of strange curiosities that are going on in this park, happening to both him and the people who are visiting it.
Yes, and they've had sticks and rocks thrown at them, been growled at, seen Sasquatch coming out of a cave. At least 5 different people seen him coming out of a cave that was there.
And actually, on one occasion, had rocks and limbs thrown at his truck from atop a rocky outcropping.
Of a small bluff, yeah.
By the entrance.
Very,
but it's
very
definitely interesting to hear that. Talked about a couple of odd paranormal things going on in the park that he's been informed about. So a whole lot of interesting things from the man.
Yes, there was. Fellow researcher and friend of ours contacted me today to tell me, because since I've lived at this property I'm on, we've had a few weird occurrences, and he was telling me that I should look into a cryptid called a puckwudgie. You ever heard of a puckwudgie?
I don't know much about it, but I believe I've heard the name mentioned a time or two.
I haven't really started looking into it yet, but he said that they tend to play flutes. Now, what's significant about a flute, Elijah?
The significance about the flute is that over the past 2 or more years at our place we're living in, Clarksville, Tennessee, we live around a lot of many acres of forest and woodland, and we keep hearing around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, just late at night, flute music coming straight from the woods, and we can't really explain it.
Yeah, it just emanates from down in the woods behind our home.
Yes.
Did you catch a copy of that, of couple examples of that flute music?
Yes. We actually got 2 clips of that we can play. Let's start with the first one.
Just a heads-up warning for headphone users. This clip is loud.
Here's the other one. This is one that we filmed with fellow friend and researcher Nathan Davis.
Have you seen anything mess with or disturbed down there by your cabin?
Not that I know of.
What was that? Is that great? That might be.
It sounds like somebody with a recorder. That one you can actually hear it change pitch.
It can, and I don't quite know what would be causing that, but from what I understand, down the road we do have witches that live on the same road with us, so I don't know if it could be something that they're up to at night, or
like maybe doing, rituals in the woods, or just spending time in the woods doing whatever.
It's entirely possible.
Well, Elijah, have you got any interesting stories to tell now while we continue to wait?
Well, I got 1 or 2. As of recently, one of our favorite things that we like to do is we like historical records of cryptids and strange things, just general oddities. And we always are collecting books and documents that tell about it. One such thing that I got a hold of recently is from an ancient historian named Strabo. And in one of his books, give me just a moment to acquire the quote, he's talking about winged snakes over in India. See, that's book 16.
See, now those kind of have a tie to the biblical narrative, don't it? Because doesn't it reference in Isaiah and maybe in the first 5 books somewhere, fiery flying serpents?
It does. I believe they're both in Isaiah, but it absolutely does mention fiery flying serpents, which the fire we would just talk about.
Would have to do with the sting of the bite.
Yes. See. Excuse me just one moment. Quote is, and that in other places there are reptiles 2 cubits long with membranous wings like bats, and that they too fly by night, discharging drops of urine or also of sweat, which putrefy the skin of anyone who is not on his guard, and that there are winged scorpions of surpassing size. I don't know what to make of that one because I've never heard of it before, but winged scorpions is definitely a very interesting topic.
Yes, it's very interesting. I believe Josephus made mention of them, as well as a few other historians.
No,
that's what we need to do. I'm sorry?
Josephus made reference to them. Herodotus made reference to them. I believe an individual named Alienus made reference to them as well, and 1 or 2 other people.
I'd like to get someone on in the field of living dinosaurs, have them on the show soon. So we need to start working on that. It'd be great if we'd been able to get Sandy Mancy on here, the lady who had filmed Champ.
I'd love to, but unfortunately she passed away recently.
I know. Terrible loss.
Absolutely. We're still waiting a couple more minutes for Christian. So would you like to take a moment? Would you like to take a moment and tell about the documents you just found on the Manitou in Louisiana?
Well, actually, I can. We found some pages in an old book. I don't have them right before me, but I can read a little bit about them. Called something about Travel Through Louisiana. I think it's got a longer title than that.
It's something to the effect of
But
travels through North America and that place formerly known as Louisiana. It's something kind of strange.
Yes, it seems like a Roman Catholic priest, or a Roman Catholic, may not have been a priest, was traveling across the nation, and he was brought to a place where there was a gathering of Native Americans, and they were dressed up in feathers and different outfits of some sort, and dancing. They were celebrating and praising their new Manitou. Now, I've been under the impression that a Manitou was supposed to be like a medicine man or something of a magical nature. And the gentleman didn't want to... I'm sorry?
That's the impression I got from a Manitou.
Right. Well, anyway, the gentleman didn't want to go into the building that they were at, or TP, or wherever they had this thing stored, but he didn't want to go in and see it because he thought that it was some kind of a hoax. But the people said that they would be greatly offended and feel slighted if he didn't go in and meet it to kind of pay homage to it. So he went in,
right,
and he said the thing looked like it was probably about 6 months old, and said that its head was kind of down on its belly. I took it that it had like a long face. Said it looked goatish in appearance, and that its arms and thighs and legs and feet were very man-like, and it was very hairy, and they had found it in the woods somewhere. And that almost sounds like Goat Man.
It really kind of does.
I guess it could possibly almost even be like a Dog Man, but it's strange that these Native Americans found it in the woods and brought it home.
And so obviously they were worshiping whatever this thing was.
Yes, very obviously.
Huh. Well, being from Louisiana, I suppose it could be a Dog Man or a Rougarou.
I suppose so, but they found it out close to a mountain, didn't they? And I don't know of a lot of mountains in Louisiana. So maybe there's another portion of the country that maybe it used to be a part of Louisiana. But anyway, moving on from that, I was, before the show come on, looking into something that is an Appalachian cryptid called a Dueo. You ever heard of the Dueo, Elijah?
I've heard the name, but again, I don't know very much about it.
Supposedly very much like a Dog Man. And supposedly also it runs through a lot of them through Maryland and Virginia.
Through Maryland and I'm writing back and forth real quick.
Multitasking, huh?
Yes,
but anyway, we were listening to the account of a woman who just turned 62 recently, and she was recounting that in the early 60s, she was staying with her grandmother, and she had to get up and go to the restroom in the middle of the night, and how she had went to the outhouse, and it was quite a distance away from the home. So she was saying that when she was coming back from the outhouse, as she ran part of the way and got tired, but walked the last several hundred feet. If you had to walk the last several hundred feet, man, that's a long stretch to go to the restroom in the middle of the night. Because I remember staying at my Aunt Myrtle's house, and she had an outhouse, and it was tremendously far from the house, but That's a creepy thing. Go out in the dark where there's no street lights or anything. It's all foresty around to the outhouse. My goodness.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, she was out here, and she saw this thing. It said it looked like a wolf or a doggish thing with a big German Shepherd head, but it stood up and it was walking like from one area to the other, and it had large yellow eyes or amberish eyes. And she was saying how she would never forget that thing, even after all these years, and she just turned 62, that she was always afraid to be out there in the dark and in the woods and such areas again.
I think these things are a lot more common than anybody will ever realize.
I think so, too, because so many people see different things, and yet nobody, well, not nobody, but a lot of people don't even report them. Because we worked with a gentleman from North Carolina who was telling us that, was it his brother or his cousin, and his woman was driving home, and they were coming around a mountainous road. There was kind of like these cliffs above them that was about 30, 40 feet up, and something jumped down that was large and hairy off those cliffs and landed in the road right in front of him. He stopped the car, and the thing literally come over and put its hand on the front of the car and leaned into the windshield, and it was large and hairy and doggish.
I think he said it started sniffing the windshield. It started sniffing the windshield.
I want to say they said it even left like nose prints or something on the glass.
Right.
And that's kind of a scary thing to have happen.
Oh, that'd be terrifying.
Yes,
well, without further ado, Christian just called in, so let's go ahead and welcome him on.
Welcome, Christian.
Christian,
hey, how you guys doing?
How you doing?
We're doing well.
I'm awesome. Thank you guys so very much for having me. I'm honored.
Hey, thanks for coming on with us.
Anytime, brother. How you guys been?
It's been
well,
a tough week,
just
glad it's over.
Talking about good old Aunt Myrtle in the outhouse. You can't beat that.
No, can't beat out Aunt Myrtle's outhouse. I mean, that was a scary place. When we would stay at her house, Christian, you would be outside playing, and you'd hear things hollering off in the woods, and we never knew what they were, but they didn't know what they were either. They'd call it a Bob Wowster. They'd say, y'all stay close to the house today. Don't go in the woods. There's a Bob Wowster out there. And as I got older and heard different recordings of Bigfoot, I know exactly what it was now. It was something of a Sasquatchy nature.
Hey, you're lucky you didn't get snatched. I mean, you couldn't. I said you're lucky you didn't get snatched. You could have been grabbed.
Yeah, because we used to play all over those woods. It seemed like there was always something creepy happening out in that area.
Where was this?
It was over in East Tennessee, a little town called Dayton, Tennessee.
Over right down by my place. You know what? I was looking at Dayton, Tennessee. That's where one of our projected investigations for the summer is going to be.
Really?
Actually, Dayton, Tennessee.
That's
I
awesome.
just printed a map. I was actually going to talk to you guys about that. I got a report that kind of coincided with what you guys were talking about in that park when you posted and got in touch with me. So actually, I had one of those, and it sounded familiar. So I looked in my records, and there it was. So I actually printed out a map from how far it's going to be for me to get there. So it's really not that far. It's only like 3 hours.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, and that's my hometown there, too.
Well, there we go. So at least I know someone knows where to go.
Yes, sir. So what have you got on the burner coming up, Christian?
Well, I told you guys.
First, hold on. Let me interrupt a little bit. Could you tell us, for those who don't know you, could you tell us a little bit about you and your organization and everything, and then we'll get into what you got planned?
Oh, sure. My name's Christian MacLeod. I'm the director of the Asheville Cryptid Society. I'm also known as the Cryptid Guy. Been doing paranormal and cryptid investigations for about 23 years total, and we look into everything from the paranormal to cryptids, to UFOs, to, of course, our buddy Bigfoot, Dogman, and everything in between. So we look at everything and investigate it and try to come up with logical answers for questions. Ideally, what we want to do is we want to help people that have seen something they can't explain, and we just want to help people understand that these things are real and they're out there and they're not going crazy. So that's kind of what we do.
Very awesome.
Very cool indeed.
Yeah, we try. We definitely try.
Now that we've established who you are, what you do, tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
Well, I don't know if I was talking to Jeremiah about a new database some friends of mine and I were working on, and I don't have permission to give their names right now, but if it would be possible for me, did you get that email I sent you about that link?
I got it just a little earlier. It says,
right, and it's called the Bigfoot Dogman Tracking and Trending the Beast. And what this is, fellas, this is a brand new database, all right, and it's not affiliated with anyone. And what we're going to try to do is keep it like exceptionally cheap or even free for everyone to use. It's going to be an information-based, information database collection tool for anyone. And what happens is when someone has a sighting, they just type in the web address that I gave you. If you could post that, I'd appreciate it because I'm going to put it on. But it's called Big Dog T2B Sighting Database Questionnaire. And what it does, I would appreciate that because this is the first time I'm talking about it, fellas. I waited to get on your show to talk about this today, and we're really excited about it. I can't give you the names of the people who are affiliated with this yet because I don't have their permission. I don't think it'd be a problem, but you know how I am with that. I always want to make sure everything's good to talk about. But this is going to be
always
awesome.
the best practice.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys, of anyone, I know you guys would understand. But again, this is going to be a really cool database. It's going to be accessible. Like I said, we might have to charge a small fee in the beginning, but as it grows and grows and grows, the plan is to make it accessible to everyone. Like you don't have to be a member; you can just look at it. And what we're going to do is we're going to do everything by zip code. So you type in your zip code, and boom, it pops up all there. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be easy to access. It's a very, very easy questionnaire to fill out, and it's going to help out a lot of people. And I know you guys will be utilizing this in the future. Because it's going to be awesome
to hear about.
And the guys that are starting it, like I said, I wish I had permission to give their names right now. But if I definitely get it, I will email you and then tell you that we can talk about it another time. But like I said, I wanted to be sure before I talked about them. But these guys are impeccable. These are some solid dudes, and I'm you know how I am when I affiliate with people. You know how I'm kind of gun shy about that. And I said. You know, they're straight up character, and you know, they're good guys. They're solid dudes, and they've actually become very quick friends of mine. And I'm looking forward to introducing you guys because I think you guys will feel the same way. Because they feel the same way that you and I do, Johnny, and you and I do, Elijah. They want people to have the information. They're not looking to make a buck on this. No one's going to get rich on this. We both know. All three of us know that, right? I mean, can we all agree on that? No one's going to make any money on this.
Absolutely.
I don't know about you. I lose money every year doing this. So, but it's something I'm passionate about, and it's something I'm going to keep doing. So it is what it is. But this database is going to be really, really cool. And again, it's called Big Dog Big Dog T2B Sighting Database and Questionnaire. And if anyone wants to link on the database, all I have to do is just they can either go to Asheville Cryptid Society, or they can go to your website, or they can go to my Twitter site, which is Asheville Cryptid Society, and I'm going to post that. But like I said, I was saving that especially for you guys tonight because this is our launching period. This is what we're using to launch it with you guys, and I was really kind of excited to be able to do that with you guys tonight.
Well, we're certainly grateful, and we're looking forward to working with you guys as close as possible.
Well, I mean, again, and I appreciate it. And let's not forget the other stuff we've got lined up. I mean, we've got the cryptid cave system theory that you guys have offered to help investigate coming up in this summer. That's going to be awesome. We were going to at least 3 states we're going to investigate cave systems in North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kentucky. My theory is that all these cave systems are connected and that cryptids use them as a system to get from point A to point B, and I think it's pretty valid. And I think we've got some pretty good research to prove it. But what we're planning on doing is kind of doing like little mini documentaries, kind of like the way you and Elijah do. What do you call those, Elijah?
Right.
Those little spots you do when you...
We've been calling those nightmare nuggets.
Yeah, those
and
nuggets.
If it's cryptid related, we call it cryptid terror. If it's something kind of paranormal, we'll just call it supernatural suspense, something like that.
Well, they're awesome, and you do such a good job with them. It kind of inspired me. I was thinking, well, maybe we can do something like that, except maybe a wee bit longer. So my team's in on it. We're just trying to get all. It's just we've got so many people involved. Everyone's time has to be accessible, and I know we're all trying to work our schedules to work, and that includes y'all. So it's just one of those things where it's going to happen. We just got to make it work. But it's going to be a big summer. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff planned. M&D Paranormal, Tiny, he's going to be doing it with us. And like I said, Asheville Cryptid Society, we've got a bunch of new members, and they are just aching to go. So this is going to be a big summer for all of us, and we're going to have a good time. And I'm pretty confident we're going to have some real good research. Some of it even involves some underwater diving or underwater cave exploration. So I've already got that lined up.
You used to be a scuba diver, didn't you?
Yes, I was a commercial diver. Yes, sir. I used to be a commercial diver. So again, I'm still a scuba diver. I'm just not haven't done it in a while. So I'm actually going to take a quick refresher course before I get wet. Try to keep everything safe. You know what I'm saying? Don't want any problems.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to be too arrogant to think that I don't need a refresher course. No, I'm looking forward to it. I've got that lined up, and like I said, it's going to be an awesome summer. It's going to be a great investigation. At least 3 states, maybe 4. I've got affiliating with you guys and some other people that they're not 100% on board yet, but when they are, I'll be announcing that. And like I said, I'll be announcing a lot more probably in the next month or so when everything starts coming together. But again, I wouldn't be doing this had I not been discussing these things with you and your team. So again, fellas, this is just going to be awesome. We're going to have a good time. And I'm looking forward to utilizing everything we have, because I think between what I've put together team-wise is just phenomenal. And the great thing is there's no ego here. Everyone wants the same thing, and that's the hard part when you're doing cryptid research. I think you guys can totally agree with me on that, is all these corresponding egos. Everyone just gets ridiculous with it, and everyone wants their name on something, and it's like, yeah, whatever. Everyone's getting the same footage. Everyone's going to be able to do whatever they want with it, and that's how it's going to be. So we're looking forward to it.
Each group complements the next.
Well, no man's an island. Why would you do something when you can utilize, everyone else's abilities too? You know what I'm saying? It makes sense to work as a team. And that's part of what this database is about. This big dog, it makes sense. I mean, even the name, I like the name. When they came up with the name, made me laugh. Because Big Dog, T2B, it stands for Bigfoot Dogman Tracking and Trending the Beast. It's perfect, because that's what we're doing. We're tracking it, and we're making, we're utilizing the trends, and we're just collecting information. And maybe we can do more with that. So, I mean, like I said, I'm excited about this. We've got all this cool stuff lined up for the summer. I feel I'm working with my friends. I talk to you, Johnny. I talk to Elijah. I feel like I'm working with my friends. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I get to hang out, do cryptid research with my friends. How much better could that be?
That's a beautiful thing when you're like-minded.
Exactly.
Elijah and I were just talking today. It was like, wouldn't it be cool if there was like a database? We could see like a map or something like that, and there's like maybe a yellow light or something everywhere there's a dog man, maybe a green light everywhere there's a Bigfoot, just something where somebody would know where all these sightings were.
I think with the people I'm working with, we could probably, they could definitely do something like that. They're that good. I mean, I can't tell you how, again, had I had their permission, I'd be throwing their names around. I just don't have their permission, so I'm not going to. But
right.
I assure you, I'll tell you what's going on off the air, because I already told them I was going to talk to you guys. But, I didn't tell them I was going to go big with their name. So they already know I'm going to be talking to you and Elijah, so that's not an issue. It's just I wasn't real clear on bringing them into the fold as far as putting their names out there on the podcast. So I'm just going to hold off.
Right. No, you shouldn't do that. You get their permission.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we understand.
But, I mean, I'm 90% sure I could do it, but I don't want to take the chance. And you know what? I can always call you guys next week and say, hey, I got great news. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way I look at that. But
the fact that
like
you won't do it tells me that you're a guy filled with integrity.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, and I really try, and that's rare because everyone wants to. I've just, like I said, as you can tell, I've had a few run-ins with people that just don't feel the same as we do, and you kind of get a little jaded, but you can't be. You just got to keep going, you know. You got to keep looking for people who are like-minded, and that's how you're going to get things done, and that's how you're going to find, you know, answers to these questions and find proof. You know, I mean,
Yep.
This database, we have a very good chance. Exactly. This database gives us an incredible opportunity to pull from like-minded people, and maybe we find out where we actually get something that's real and tangible, you know? You never know. And that's why I'm so excited about this.
If you could put together
like
a database where it shows everything, you might be able to have ways of tracking migration patterns. And
you guys know how I feel about it. I'm convinced they migrate. I'm convinced. You know, I honestly think, I mean, here's the way I look at this. And I know we've talked about this before, but let's just say you're a 1,200-pound, 10-foot, you know, North American primate. Just calling it that hypothetically, all right? Would you want to hang out where it's 90 degrees, even in the mountains, and it's like 100% humidity? Or would you just go up north where there's plenty of food, it's a lot colder, and it's more, you know, a more mild climate? You know what I'm saying? So I think they use the Appalachian Trail, and I think they just on this side of the country, and I think they use other trail systems on the other side of the country in the middle. And I think they go from north to south depending on the time of the year. And I think they actually spend their winters, you know, in this area, in my area around North Carolina, in the Appalachian Trail. Again, my opinion, you know. And I think this database is good enough that it might be able to prove whether, you know, who's right and wrong. But I think either way, it'll help us, you know, collect the right information where we can make a properly educated hypothesis and you know, and go from there. So that's just going to be awesome.
I really do believe that you're onto some of this Appalachian Trail. I was reading either yesterday or today about how people who are walking this trail usually abandon so much stuff along the trail because they don't want to carry it. You know, so there's a lot of food and different things that these creatures could survive off of because people don't want to tow it along.
Man. They don't, yeah. Well, you know what? The funny thing, you know what makes me laugh is I know you and I were talking about like not too long ago about what you should bring when you're doing research, and you know I'm a firm believer in redundancy and having food, water, you know, shelter all on your backpack, you know, and we've discussed this. Some of these people that just go so far out, you know, like they'll bring 3 or 4 coolers full of stuff. You're never going to be able to carry all that.
No.
You know,
there's not a prayer of it.
Right. So what are they going to do? They're just going to dump it, you know. So I mean, you're right. I'm sure I would love to see how many. I would bet you anything the park rangers have the nicest collection of coolers out of anyone around.
They could probably just take
Probably
their pick.
so.
They got the nice Yetis. They got it all. So I mean, you know, and they probably haven't had to pay for any of them. So I mean, I've gone out there and seen stuff, and I leave it alone though because you never know whose it is. But I mean, I've seen stuff out there that looks like, you know, it was in such pristine shape. I actually thought it was a campsite, so I left it alone, and that's happened several times. You know, and then there's other times, you know, I don't mean to transition, but like I know, John and I, we were talking about this. Like every once in a while, you find like a bag of clothes or something hidden in a tree. You know, so I mean, it's you find all kinds of stuff out there. So my opinion, I leave it alone because it belongs to someone. You know, that's my thing.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, that's like my friends. If you're out there hiking and you come upon a campsite and it looks like it's still being used, just leave their stuff alone. That's not yours.
Yeah, you actually may make somebody have a miserable time, or maybe even endanger somebody if you take the stuff they're surviving with.
I mean, honestly, you know, you take someone's tent, or you take their food or their cooler. I mean, yeah, you're right. You could be responsible for their demise. So, I mean, again, like I said, that's why, you know, it's best just to leave stuff alone. And if it looks like, you know, I have yet to come upon a campsite that looks like it's been, you know, destroyed. And, you know, you remember what was it, when the Outlaws came on that campsite and they got all that trouble for? Did you ever see the video for that?
No.
They came on, one of them came upon the campsite, and it was, like, destroyed. I've never seen that. I mean, that'd be something different. I'd call the authorities at that point. But that's different. I wouldn't care to mess with anyone's stuff. But if you find someone that looks like they need help, I'd call the authorities. But or see if I could offer assistance. But that happens out there too. You never know. That's why you have to be careful. That's why I don't recommend going out alone.
No, there's no telling what could happen.
There's a lot
if you go
can
out
happen
alone.
in the woods.
Oh yeah. Well, I live in.
And it doesn't have to involve a
and I'll put it this way: I probably had a 300-pound bear in my garbage last night. And I live in the city limits, so.
Oh wow!
That's just here. Can you imagine what? That's why I always say anything can happen. You never know. That's why you got to be prepared. Be safe.
Yeah, man. It's not hard to break an ankle or get snake bit or trip, fall, anything. There's a million things can happen to you in the woods that doesn't even have to involve a cryptid.
No, I mean, I've personally been hiking and, slipped and gone down 20, 30 feet just, sliding. Thankfully, it was on my posterior, but, it was like a mudslide, and that hurt. I mean, I could have been seriously injured if I didn't fall the way I fell. If I had gone head first, I probably would have been out, So, it happens. It's just, you step the wrong direction, you're stepping on something, you're right. Look at all the snakes out there. I mean, there's all kinds of them, so people got to be careful.
And it is illegal to kill a snake.
Is it?
Yes,
and from what the park ranger told us recently, you get fined $10,000 if you kill a rattlesnake.
Yeah,
no
because
kidding, really?
there's so many little critters and varmints like rats and stuff in the woods that chew on trees and stuff that's part of the timber industry. And a lot of times they'll release rattlesnakes into the woods to try to get rid of these pests. And if you kill a rattlesnake, they'll find you. They'll try to prosecute you.
Well, that's why I've got that no-kill policy. But I'm surprised on that. That's a little expensive. $10,000.
It's very high.
No, that's here in Tennessee. I don't know what other areas of the country are.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure Tennessee, North Carolina would probably be close.
Since they named the state.
Yeah, I mean, real close. I mean, I was just thinking, once you're in Hot Springs, I mean, you can go places in Hot Springs where the paths will take you right into Tennessee, and you don't even know it. So, I mean, it's close. That's why I'm imagining probably the same fines.
Yeah. Now, we were just talking before you come on the show about a park ranger that we talked to who had told us that he had Sasquatch in his park, but that he was told by his boss not to be talking about that and other things because it was frightening people in the park. So I'm sure that stuff's going on all over the whole nation, I would think.
Well, I'm sure it is, but here's my question is, what do they do to that guy? Do they tell him, that, hey, you can't talk about that, and then follow him around? Or, I don't know. Because, obviously, because someone knows he said something because, we're talking about it. So, I mean, do they backtrack it to, through you to him? I mean, what kind of trouble is he getting in?
Well, we're trying to make sure that we don't mention what park or what area of the country.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you, but still.
We sure wouldn't want this guy to get in trouble.
No, because he's obviously trying to do the right thing. That that's
gonna be a tough
I've heard
position. The same thing is going on in Land Between the Lakes. I've had people tell me
that too. Yeah.
Now, you're familiar with Land Between the Lakes, aren't you?
Oh yeah, especially the northern part of Land Between the Lakes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and the kill site and the bunkers and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Now, did I send you a picture this week of a thing that I took a picture of that looked almost just like those bunkers in Land Between the Lakes?
No.
Okay, turns out that the thing we took a picture of and sent people is a dynamite storage building. And I was thinking, that might be what those things are, where they was developing land between the lakes. They may have put those things there to keep dynamite stored in.
Yeah, they look almost identical.
Yeah.
Okay, bigger.
Didn't they have to flood that whole area too?
Mm-hmm. So they would have definitely had dynamite down there.
Yeah.
So that might be exactly what those bunkers were used for.
Yeah, because everyone was saying they were for the National Guard and they were training during the Korean War. That never made any sense to me. But
no, but they look. I'll send you
a
picture later on, and they look so much like those things. It's unreal. The one that we got a picture of is bigger than the ones in Land Between the Lakes, but they've got several of them. So it makes sense to me that might be where they were storing their construction supplies when they flooded that area and blasted and everything to make the rivers.
I bet you anything that's exactly what they are. That makes total sense, too, because you'd need it, right?
Yes, sir, and you'd need something sturdy enough to keep people from getting in and getting it.
Yeah, and that would do it. Plus, you'd have to have it ventilated, too, right? So, because it sweats. So, yeah, that makes sense. Makes total sense to me. Well, there we go, fellas. We discovered something.
I hope so. It just kind of really stuck out. Well, as soon as we laid eyes on it, we both kind of looked at each other and we was like, I bet you that's exactly the same kind of structure.
Well, I never even thought about that, but that makes total sense. Makes perfect sense. What, I would love to get, Kumbo's opinion on that, because I guess he's seen them. Or either one of those guys. Kumbo, I'd like to get either one of their opinion on that, because they've been there. They've been there. They've been to the kill site and everything.
Yeah, we could probably send you pictures of the structures from the kill site and send you pictures from the ones we took this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Both of them.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to have that. Keep that from my archives. That's cool. I appreciate that.
Can you make that happen, Elijah?
Yeah, I can make that happen. The big one, it has big iron bars up over. Was that windows or just big holes in the wall?
It was windows.
And we actually heard that somebody thought it was a prison off in the woods because of those bars.
Yeah,
they thought it was a jailhouse. They're like, no, it's not a jailhouse.
No, I'm willing to bet you're right. I bet you anything was for dynamite.
Building.
I bet you anything it was. I bet you that, because that would make sense. I wonder if there's a way of finding out what they actually blew up and how much it took to do it. I wonder if you can get that through FOIA.
I don't know, but I would say, there'd be a fair amount of blasting done where they made those channels where the rivers go now.
Well, I tell you what, they did something down here not too far away, on a dam here during World War II, Fontana Dam. They did the same thing in the first couple of weeks of World War II. They took 30,000 men and equipment. Now think about this. This is a whole town they flooded. It's 450 feet underwater, and allegedly, again, I heard this from different sources, but allegedly, they were having some cryptid activity coming out of the cave systems around there, and they ended up in the first couple of weeks of World War II diverting 30,000 people and all that manpower to create a dam in western North Carolina that really had no purpose back then. So I think that's
flood the.
Well, that's part of the cryptid cave system theory I have, and that's one of the places we're going to be checking out. But
Christian. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, but I have a fear. I think there's a lot more to this story than that.
I think you're probably right.
Why would you flood? Think about this, fellas. Our entire labor force needs to shift into war mode, right? We just lost our Pacific Fleet, and 30,000 able-bodied engineers, workers are in little, podunk holler nowhere, Western Carolina, building a dam for 18 months.
Doesn't make sense, does it?
Makes absolutely no sense to me. Makes absolutely no sense, unless there was something going on that they didn't want us to know about. And to this day, they've never released any knowledge or never released anything that they might know of. So to me, there's something there. They flooded that. Think about that, fellas. It's not only underwater, it's 450 feet underwater.
450
That's
feet.
deep.
They're trying to make sure nobody gets to that.
Well, nobody or nothing. Because here's my thing, too. Think about what that back pressure would do to the rest of the cave systems. With that much water, you could technically flood out miles.
Wow, you could.
And that's what we're going to be talking about. That's part of the whole cryptid cave system theory I have, is that's why they did that. There's a lot more to come. That's just a little teaser, but that's some of the stuff we're going to be working on this summer, and it's all connected. It is all connected. There's no doubt in my mind these cave systems are connected, and especially Tennessee, North Carolina, and Kentucky. There's no doubt in my mind.
You know, it's interesting that you talk about these cryptids in the caves because a few months ago I was watching something on YouTube. Is a few videos that were compiled by a group called Crypto Watch, but they got reports from a woman that she seen some kind of weird cryptid in a cave. Was
that the goblin
weird
one?
as it sounds. Huh?
Was that the goblin? Is it like they were looking for the goblins?
No, this was something different, wasn't it, son?
No.
She described it as looking almost like the body of a sloth, but I think it almost had like a human face. And they managed to do a little research, and they found an old book that had a medieval drawing of almost the exact same creature, as almost literally described like some kind of a sloth.
Oh, that was a cave system. It was in Tennessee, wasn't it?
It was a Tennessee cave. And
I remember seeing part of that too.
Yeah, they had like 4 or 5
I'll have to look into that, fellas. I haven't heard about that one, but again, falls right into my theory about the cryptids using the cave systems.
Yeah, I'll send you that one.
I mean, how many times have you heard about Bigfoot disappearing, into nowhere? What's to say he's not jumping into an open cave system and then moving a rock and closing it off?
That's true. That is very true. And see, now we, one of these parks that we were at and talking to one of the rangers, said that at least 5 different people had seen a Sasquatch coming out of an old mine shaft, which these things run forever, these caving systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a
Well, there you
ventilation.
go. I mean, yeah.
Well, I think you were definitely on to something.
Well, like
yes,
I said, I've been thinking about this one for a while, and it just kind of clicked. It was like especially when I heard about that dam. When I heard about Fontana Dam, I was like, what? Because I'd never heard that. And again, I can't find anything, but I think it's just one of those local folklore things. They kind of wouldn't die. And, to me it makes sense. Again, you're putting an entire town 450 feet underwater. I mean, 200's enough. But they put it like 450 feet. I mean, they flooded that thing hardcore. So, and again, with all that water and all that pressure, that could go miles underwater. That could have gone into the other state, no problem. They could have completely stopped anything from using that system because now it's underwater. But again, I have to ask why. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just curious, do you ever get into like the lake monster kind of side of cryptozoology?
Anything that's cryptid, aliens, vampires, Nessie, Ogopogo, anything.
I love anything like that.
Mhm. I think Loch Ness monster is a real thing.
Right.
You ever get reports of like the Appalachian grave robbers?
I personally no, I haven't. I've heard several different things. I've heard they're paranormal. I've heard they're like ghouls. I've just heard some things like that. But again, I don't honestly know. I haven't had a whole lot of time to. I've never really particularly researched that. I have heard of it, but I'm not sure what they are. And I think Loch Ness Monster's a plesiosaur. That's what I was going to throw out there. I think Loch Ness Monster's a plesiosaur, but that's just me.
Hey, that's what I believe too. I've heard theories that it was a large anguilla eel, but I believe it's a plesiosaur.
I think it's a plesiosaur. I think what is it? You could stack everyone on top of each other on the entire planet, and they'd still be underwater in the loch. That's how deep it is. Yeah, inside Loch Ness. Now you think about that. That's incredible. That is incredible.
And there's a million places for something to hide there because the bottom of Loch Ness is wrinkled like a raisin.
Oh yeah, I mean, you've never. I still don't think they know all the ways, all the ifs and outs about that place. So I mean, it could, like I said, this is what we do. This is, anything's possible. Anything. So
it could. I don't know what it was, but I just said it's not.
Yeah. I don't know what it was, but I seen a link recently that said scientists are rapidly closing in on Nessie, so I don't know if they found some kind of new research or something.
But again, you think they're going to tell us?
No, never.
No way.
I mean, I don't think they'd tell us. And I don't know why, but I don't think we'd ever find out the truth.
Well, I think if you ever find out that you have a living dinosaur, or that humans and dinosaurs lived contemporaneously, that you completely do away with the theory of evolution.
Well, here's the other thing. I'm not trying to start anything because I'm a man of faith, but now there's this whole. Someone told me there was and again, I'm not 100% sure on this, so I'm not. This isn't coming from the cryptid guy. This is something I heard, but I heard now that there's a new theory that Noah had dinosaurs on the ark with him.
Oh, I believe that wholeheartedly.
I don't know if you've heard that one.
I absolutely believe that.
No one had to taken real big dinosaurs. Just take them when they're babies. Take a pink one and a blue one, and they'll come important later.
Well, I mean, if you get them small enough,
large.
I mean, honestly, how big was the ark?
More.
I mean,
550 feet long.
That's a pretty big boat.
300 cubic.
So, yeah. I mean, it's not out of possibility.
I think the ark's inside dimensions would be like 2.1 or 2.3 million cubic feet inside. That's a lot of space.
That's like an aircraft carrier, isn't it?
It's huge.
I mean, yeah. So, and we know that by the way it was designed because they've built it hundreds of times off different engineers. Even the U.S. Navy, they commissioned someone to build it, and we know it would float. So, you never know.
I believe that.
Yeah, these are just things we don't know.
And like,
this is why we do what we do.
Like I was saying a minute ago, that if Noah had took dinosaurs, he would have took small ones like babies. They would have ate less. They'd have been less aggressive, and they would have slept more. So it would have been the perfect thing,
Well, I mean, look at like Komodo dragons, crocodiles, things like that. Those are, as far as I'm concerned, that's a dinosaur. I mean, so why not bigger? So.
And we don't know if he didn't take dinosaur eggs or something. Just.
Yeah, I mean, he could have grabbed. When you're working for the man, you're gonna get. You're gonna know what you need to do. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's
what is your next step, Christian? What do you got going on immediately?
Well, our next weekend, my buddy, my investigating partner Tiny, and I are going back into the haunted forest. That's a place we frequented last year, and we had a lot of activity. That's one of the places where we found a lot of dogman activity. Actually, we think we actually saw a dogman out there. It was actually following us. We're not 100% sure on that one, but if I had to bet, my best guess was that was a dogman because it was the way it was moving and the way it was like tracking us. And so we're going to go back there, and then we're going to hit an area in Hot Springs, not too far from you guys on the Tennessee border, and that'll be it for about 2 weeks, and then we're going to try getting the Fontana Dam area going. So that's going to start off our cryptid cave theory. So all this will be happening in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be in touch with you guys about everything because I want you part of that. And I'll be posting stuff on Facebook, AshevilleCryptidSociety.com. and on my website, which is, AshevilleCryptidSociety.com, and I'll be twittering stuff at Society Cryptid. So I'm easy to find. So anyone wants to get any information, the easiest way to find out anything is just, AshevilleCryptidSociety.com, or they can call me at 828-407-0046 or 828-782-3766. So, and again, AshevilleCryptidSociety.com, I'm easy to find. And we'll be posting everything. And like I said, every time we get information, we put it up. And there's a possibility I might start doing a new podcast with another gentleman. Again, I don't have permission to use his name, but if this comes to fruition, this will be awesome, and I'm looking very, very forward to it. So there's a lot of things on the horizon, and again, we're just working so hard to get information and do research and just put it out there for everyone. So it's just been like that, and that's our main goal, And of course, I'm lucky enough to have a wife that lets me do this. So I just I don't have permission to use her name. I don't know if she wants it out there, but I love my wife. So hi, wife. But,
make sure you keep her. If she lets you do this, she's a keeper.
Well, I think
a lot of people always ask me, they're like, you shouldn't be telling everybody where you go and hunt and what you do and that. And I'm like, why not? I don't own these cryptids.
Well, that's the other thing. It's like, again, I keep harping on this, I am so excited about having this big dog website, because I honestly think it's going to help people. Think about this, fellas. We have been taught from day one that these things don't exist. Well, if you're some poor guy, let's just say some average guy, just like you and me, just some average guy goes to 9 to 5, married, got the 2.5 kids, the dog and the cat, he's living his life, and he's out camping with his son or his daughter or the whole family, and they look up and all of a sudden there's this, 11.5, 12 foot, for lack of a better word, Bigfoot. How's he going to mentally process that without the right, that can totally mess him, and that's what we're here for. And that's what this Bigfoot Dogman tracking and trending the beast, database is for. It's going to help people. So, that's why I'm so excited about pushing this. And like I said, if you guys have put a link on that to your webpage so people can do it, I'd appreciate it. I'm going to be putting it on mine. I'm going to be putting it on everything. I'm going to try to advertise in this thing as much as we can because I believe in it. And when I believe in something, I get behind it 100%. If I thought it was going for someone to make money or it was going to go for nefarious purposes, I'd walk away. That's not what I want. But the fellas I'm doing this with, again, once they give me permission, we'll talk about them. And I'd like to have one of them on your show because I'll definitely have him on one of mine. But this guy's incredible.
Send us a name, and if he'll be on the show, we'd love to have him.
Yeah, I want you guys to I want you guys to become friends because that's how it works. Because you guys have the same thought process and theories as him, and I do. Excuse me, it's him and I, or is it me? Well, just all of us. We're all thinking the same thing. We all have like-minded, theories about these creatures, and we also have the same, no-kill theory. So that's what that's why I'm so excited about this. And if I seem a little rambunctious about it, I apologize. It's just. This is something I've been wanting to get into for a long time, and now we have the ability to do it, and I'm just looking so forward to helping people out and having people have, the ability to access their region and look up these reports, because you can't really do it these days. You got to either pay or you got to pay somebody, there's always some kind of monetary thing. And unfortunately, we may have to charge a small fee at the beginning. I'm not sure how they're going to do it right now. I really don't know, but I know they're going to do whatever it is the cheapest way for everyone to have access. So, again, these guys are stand-up dudes. They're not in it for the money, and they just want to do the right thing. And I think this website will help that. And it's like, that's why I like coming on your show. You guys are doing the same thing. You're just out there trying to find the truth, trying to help people out. What's more noble than that? You know what I mean?
Someday we may write a book or something like that, but that's more of a labor of love than anything. I don't think anybody that's ever wrote a book in the cryptid industry has, gotten rich and famous, No,
I'll be honest with you. I'm writing a book right now, and I've only got to chapter 1. I've been writing it for 2 years, so it's just, I don't know how to end it. I know what the middle is, but it's like, eh.
Now, my daughter and I, we actually
they were
did
fun
write a like, I don't know if you say a children's book or like a teen's book or even just like a grown-up's book, but almost like a, based on local lore of my hometown, you know, little things like that and some fictitious things, almost like a gory Dr. Seuss book based on little ghost stories and things that we've heard over the years. And then, you know, just some fun other stories tied in, you know, to each one interconnected with the other. So we finally got our copyright back on it, and we'll probably end up trying to self-publish that before too long.
Well, I tell you what, let's talk about that off air because I might have, I might could talk to someone about that for you.
Well, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's what people say is it's a ghastly work of art.
Oh, I mean that's awesome. But like I said, I might have someone that could help. I can't guarantee, but I can give him a call and talk to him. He's published, you know, quite a few books, so he knows how it works. But his stuff is, it's all paranormal work. That's part of the deal, man. You know, that's why you got to help. You got to help a brother out. You got to take care of each other. That's how it works.
All right, man. Well, we are kind of over our time limit here. We're no longer broadcasting live. This is all going to be in. Well, you can go back and listen to it. So we're
kind of add to the end of the recording.
Hey, whatever you guys
want to do. I guess we better go ahead and cut it short.
That's awesome.
Christian, man, thank you for being on. We loved having you. Can't wait to have you again.
Yes, brother. Awesome.
I know we're going to
I'm a phone call away. If you ever get in a pinch for anything, I'm a phone call away. You know that. So
we're going to be not far from you in July, I think it is. We are going to a Comic-Con over in Knoxville, so we shouldn't be too far away from each other then.
Actually, I think I know the guy that's running that.
Oh, yeah? The fanboy?
I don't know him personally. Tiny knows him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Tiny knows him. Tiny's done a few things with him.
Nice, but we're planning to be over there for that. And
well, I'm going to have to come down there and see you guys for that, because that's the least I can do for that. So you guys keep me informed on that, because I actually think Tiny might be, M&D Paranormal might be there for that. So I would definitely be down there for that if that's possible.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see you then, and can't wait to work with you over the summer.
I'm looking forward to that. We're going to have some fun, fellas. That's going to be some cool stuff. And
do a cave dive,
a little cave exploration. We're going to have a good time, and you know what? I think we're going to get some good information.
We are absolutely going to do that.
We will.
Now, do you want to give everybody your information, your phone numbers and stuff one more time before we go?
Sure, I would love to. Thanks, man. You can get me at the AshevilleCryptidSociety.com, or you can call me at 828-407-0046, or 828-782-3766, or you can email me at AshevilleCryptidSociety@gmail.com. Peace cake.
Nice. Well, Christian, once again, thank you very much, and we'll be talking to you soon. Elijah, brother, do you have anything else to
add? Only thank you very much, Christian, for being on and everything you have planned.
Thank you, guys. It was a pleasure. Hey, Elijah, can you do me a favor? Could you email me the link for this? Because I'm going to send this up on the Instagram and the Twitter and all that other stuff later tonight after I watch Game of Thrones.
Good thing. Yeah,
I appreciate it,
and
brother.
we will get that link shared. We are having some trouble getting our website built. We're still
figuring that out. I have mine built, and I can't even edit it. I understand.
So we're actively working on. We're going to have a cool website. We're just trying to figure it all out. But we got a good thing coming.
We actually have one up on Wix right now on Google, but
I'm telling you guys,
you put the entire name.
Use GoDaddy.com. I'm telling you, they have been awesome with me. I've had 4 websites with them. I don't use 2 of them, but I still use Asheville Cryptid Society and CryptidGuide.com, and they're incredible for what you get. I mean, you can put a store on there. You can do all kinds of stuff, and they're very, very, very friendly. Like, you can call them, and they'll walk you through
Elijah was
stuff.
thinking that you couldn't change the background or something, so he was kind of worried about that.
I'm having a lot of trouble with that.
I'm telling you guys, try GoDaddy. They are very easy to deal with. They'll help you.
Well,
Elijah, there you go, baby.
That's definitely.
I reckon so.
Honestly, I mean, I don't get anything for helping them, but they've been real good to me. So.
Well, I'll definitely check that out.
Definitely.
Alrighty, man. Thank you very much.
Thanks, fellas.
And stay groovy, guys.
You too, man. God
Stay
bless,
groovy.
fellas. Take care. Thank you.
All right. God bless y'all.
Keep
Bye.
believing.